What's up, guys? Woody here. Another week, and hopefully the last week on this truck. So, just kind of finalizing up. I mean, the swap part's done. I just got to do a bunch of chassis work. Not a bunch, but a couple bushings, alignment, and this thing just came in today. Slave cylinder. I put on a Beck Arnley one that's stock for this truck, and brand new out of the box, it leaked. So, this one is actually Exetti OEM, but it's off of an S12 because I wanted the aluminum. I have a suspicion that the pitting on the cast iron ones that are stock for most of these are causing the internals to leak because, yeah, it's just dripping right out of the boot. Brand new. Like, who knows how long it's been on the shelf. So, even though they're coated in oil, things can still rust, things can still have pitting imperfections in the metal. So I'm guessing that's it. Aluminum's going to be a little bit more resilient against that and not pit in the future. So fingers crossed, because I already painted that cross member that my last leaking one kind of leaked all over and stripped the paint off of. So hopefully I can save the paint that I just put on it. But yeah, we're going to throw this in and hopefully it works. From what I read, it's directly the same except for not being steel. That's it. So one helpful thing when you're just swapping out a small part, get you some of these. Just pinch off the line, swap out the part. All I got to do is bleed out what's in this instead of letting the whole system drain while I'm trying to work on it. So that's what we're going to do. Alrighty, guys. And that is a direct replacement. Gotta get on the ground. Direct replacement for up here. Fits exactly the same way as it should. So that's a cool feature to have an aluminum slave cylinder if you're having issues with a steel one. Potentially. I don't know. This one could leak too. They might all just suck. But at least there's an option for you and it bolts on. Now we've got to jack this thing up. Get these bushings replaced. These upper arm bushings we talked about in a previous video. Got some new ones right there. I would get the nicer energy suspension ones like I had, but those ones wore out. So we'll try some, again, cheap eBay units like everything else on this truck. Maybe they'll last longer, maybe they won't, but at least I won't waste more money if they don't work. So, yeah. We're going to get this thing up in the air and get to work. Alright, guys, so the bushings I had in there were energy suspension. These are the original sleeves for those bushings, but I didn't use them because they don't fit over this piece. And now that these bushings are worn out, yeah, those are wobbly. I did use the OEM sleeves that fit perfect on here and did fit in here, and these are just as loose. So and then the new bushings I got, eBay ones, problem solver bushings. I've used them before on Subaru stuff, but these ones suck. Nothing fits. The sleeve on this is taller than it should be. The bushing is narrower than it should be. It's also a bigger diameter, which fits the bushing, yes, but then the bushing only fits in the arm without the sleeve, and then when you try and force the sleeve in, it's actually bowed in the middle to the point of this oversized sleeve not fitting, and this one gets tight. So there's that issue, and so I'm probably going to still use these bushings because I don't have a sleeve that can run tight in the old energy suspension bushings. Kind of ridiculous because these are 4 years old. These shouldn't have worn out that quickly, but oh well, these were greased and everything. Yeah, so I'm gonna run these bushings probably with these sleeves, and it's probably it won't shake, but it'll probably wear out sooner than later. So I will have to figure out something. Because if I can't trust energy suspension bushings, I can't trust the cheap ones, obviously. Prothane's my only option, and those I'm pretty sure are on the same par as energy suspension. If anything, a little bit cheaper, but those might be the next ones to try. not really sure. Then another thing I found out, which I don't know how I didn't notice when I was working on this side doing that ball joint. There's my shock. Yeah, it broke. It's completely separated, and I don't have a replacement, so I know you're not supposed to weld a shock, but that might be my temporary solution for right now. Even if it blows it out, at least it'll be something in there for now until I can get a replacement part. Because right now the shock's not blown, surprisingly. But it might blow. It might blow just putting the heat on it. I don't know, but it's worth a shot at least. Yeah, today is just not my day for this stuff, apparently, because it seems like everything I touch is wrong. All right, and truck is back on the ground. This was supposed to be the last day that I worked on it. I was supposed to button up the few things in the front end to get it at least streetable again. And I was already having to do sketchy stuff between the bushings and that shock. And I made the mistake of looking at my brakes. Well, yeah, they were down to 1 millimeter, which is fine. I could pad slap a truck, no problem. But I also had the Frontier calipers, and I'd always been curious, hey, do they fit on this? A lot of stuff is similar, but not quite enough, so I decided to start messing with it. And when I went to push in my stock hardbody caliper, the pistons on the calipers, one of them just started puking out of the dust boot. So calipers shot, pads are shot, rotors aren't in that great a condition. I did say in my intro video that this truck was in rough condition, despite having replaced all this stuff within the last 5 years already. But I think it's time to do that again. You know, there's no point half-assing, excuse my French, the bushings and the shocks if the brakes are not even holding fluid. So, yeah, I'm going to push this thing back out into the driveway. It's going to sit there for a week or two while I wait for parts to show up. Because, yeah, I already have the steering issues. I'm having bushing issues. I already know that I'm maxed out for the height of this truck as it is. And I can't really go any taller without exceeding my ball joint angles. So I know Rough Country isn't the best lift kit, but they are about the only one that's still available. Unless anybody else knows of any better ones, leave a comment, suggestions of better lift kits. But those come with an aftermarket upper control arm with bushings. That would solve that issue. It comes with all new shocks. That would solve the shock issue. And then I'm just going to do all new rotors, calipers, pads, and the fixed center link is apparently the company that offers it only takes cores, and they only take cores from 93 up. I guess the inner tie rod taper is different. Well, mine's a 91, so I can't even send them my core. So I'm also going to get a new 93 plus center link and inner tie rods. And I'm not going to do the sending in just yet because that's another $300 on top of the already $1,000 I'm planning on spending right now, which is probably more than I have into the entire engine swap, if you can believe it. But yeah, at least that way, brand new center link, brand new inner tie rods, even though my inner and outer tie rods are the only thing that haven't worn out on this truck, amazingly enough. All brand new front brakes, brand new shocks, brand new upper control arm and bushings. And hopefully, like, I might even take it into an actual shop to do an alignment, which is wild for me because I've only ever done self-alignments on this truck, which works. Toe and go, toe plates. It's done the job considering I know that it's going to shake its tread off anyways. But yeah, I think it's just time to just do everything. I already replaced one of the ball joints. The other three are fine. The lower arm and tension rod bushing or torsion bar, whatever the rear compression rod, those bushings, those are also energy suspension, but they're not showing any play, so those should also be good. Yeah, it's just time to spend a bunch of money and get this truck right. Like I said, this front suspension design sucks. I'm gonna give it one more go with a bunch of new parts for the steering, suspension, brakes, and if stuff wears out prematurely after that, I'm gonna start looking into custom stuff. So, not sure if this is gonna be the end of my video or if I'm gonna wait and post this after parts show up. Depends on how soon they come in. But this might be it on this truck. This is it for a couple weeks until I can get those parts in and get going. So, this part might get edited out if I end up fixing it in this video 2 weeks from now. Or I may just decide to make a short video for right now, and that's the case. Thanks for watching, YouTube. It's a very short video, I know. Mostly just me griping again about the front suspension of this truck. And I'll see you in the next video, probably working on something else. Because, again, this was supposed to be the last video for this truck and driving it and showing you guys how it drives around. And that's not what this is. So, again, thanks for watching. And see you next time. Bye, YouTube.